90 minutes on the trainer here, utilized Zwift, and we went the category C ride starting at 5:15. We did roughly 36 miles. Average watts were roughly 175, and the heart rate, I'll have to pull, but I think it was low 1-teens, so like 115, 120-ish or so. The babies are asleep here, so the benefit is we're gonna swap out with Ellie. She's gonna come home. Hopefully the babies will still be down, fingers crossed, and I'm gonna go ahead and knock out a swim. First thing first with swimming is you have to be aware of your body, your fingertips, your toes, your abs, your shoulders, your chin. Everything has to be thought of as you're swimming. And then on top of that, you actually have to hold your breath and at least establish a breathing pattern. I'm still working on getting my swim stroke back. I will say day 3 into the water, I'm feeling a little bit better in terms of just connectedness to my body. With a stroke like freestyle, it is a long axis stroke. You're gonna be rotating along your vertical axis of symmetry. You're gonna be rotating those shoulders, you're gonna be rotating those hips a little bit here and there in order to make sure that you can get what's called a distance per stroke, the most out of each stroke that you get. My average distance per stroke is anywhere between about 9 to 12, especially as I fatigue later on. But I have these things that are hand paddles, which help for distance per stroke, and also what's called the initial catch. I like to use the analogy of you're sliding your hand into a sleeve of a jacket. So you're gonna do what's called a reach and roll. Every stroke you have to think about reach and roll, reach and roll. So you're gonna put your hand in roughly right at shoulder line here. You're gonna be entering in, you're gonna reach forward, and then you're gonna roll and get that most extension out of your front part of your stroke, catching the water, and you're gonna be pulling with your lat and your delts and everything kind of in the back part of your shoulders, okay? Your fingertips, as a general sense, will be pointed down. If they're pointed across, you're gonna be crossing that midline, thus being a little bit less efficient in the water. If you're efficient, you're gonna have a strong distance per stroke. Again, it takes some time in order to get your swimming stroke situated. First things first, you just have to be very aware and self-absorbed with your body and connectedness. Freestyle is a long axis stroke, so split your body in half, and you're gonna have a vertical line of symmetry. Your goal is to not cross that there. Work on efficiency with that catch of reach and roll in front of you. Alrighty, we just wrapped at 500 up. These make me feel like a normal swimmer again. 2,022 minutes. Average pace was 106. Again, I use this as a lot of skills and drills. My last 500 was, I think, 5:19. But again, I used roughly 1,500 of that today with some sort of equipment. I need that right now, just with getting a feel of the water again. And you'll hear that a lot when people understanding you want to be connected to the water. You want to have everything from your fingertips all the way through your core into your legs as connected as possible to the water. You're not necessarily working against the water, you want to work with what you have around you. That mindset comes into play for the unknown of what's around you during a triathlon. You're gonna have plenty of other swimmers, but you have to stay confident and calm in your own abilities and your training to know that you have done everything right to get to that starting point. And again, in most cases, it's all about surviving the swim and then getting on the bike there. So hopefully those tips and tricks will help you understand a little bit more about the swimming aspect. So focusing on the catch, dividing your body up into a vertical line of symmetry, focusing on that reach and roll in order to gain a better distance per stroke, staying connected throughout your whole body and just being aware of what's around you and what you're currently doing in order to initiate that catch. Are your fingertips pointed towards the bottom of the pool? Do you have a nice strong forearm as you catch and move through that last third of your stroke going through to your hip? And then second part to that all is, do you have a breathing pattern? What does that look like? How are you going to establish a breathing pattern in your training? So then that way, when you progress towards a race or a swim that is geared towards a race, you have that already kind of subconsciously driven in to what your race plan looks like there. I'm excited to get back in the pool, to be honest, a little bit nervous, but day 3, week 2, not off to a bad start there. We'll see you in the next video. Go make it a great day.